There's more and more videos that are popping up where the folks are saying they're having a hard time finding jobs, even with degrees. And some of the things they're saying sound very familiar to Black Americans. Case in point, I want to let you listen to this video of this, young white, woman. She has degrees and she cannot find a job to save her life. I want you to hear exactly what she's saying and how many times have we said this as Black Americans. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Does anyone else just work their ass off for like the last 3 or 4 years for like a college degree, and now you have a job that you hate and you still can't afford life and you're still miserable and you can't pay any of your bills and you can't live in the house that you imagine, and you just feel lied to because you thought that if you just went to college and got a degree you'd be able to afford a house and like things that make you happy, but yet you're still barely can afford groceries or clothes or literally anything that makes you happy at all, and you had to spend the whole entire weekend in your bed because you literally don't have any money to go do anything other, like if you buy food you just can't have an entertainment budget. So I'm just wondering if anyone else is dealing with something like this or if it's just me, because this ain't it.
How many times have we said this in the Black community? We have went to school, we've gotten degrees, we've gotten master's degrees, doctorate degrees, we've gotten certifications, licenses, and we still can't get a job. We're stuck with student loan debt because we thought we'd be able to get a job, and we're trying and trying and trying. They're not hiring us. We keep saying, hey, man, I can't get a job. And in the same process, we're watching people of the young ladies community getting the jobs that we're supposed to be getting with the degrees, and they don't even have the experience or the degree. And when we were saying about us getting jobs, people in her community, and let me say this for the slow people in the back. I'm not saying she said it. I'm not saying she did anything, okay? We're talking about those who did it prior to her, those who gaslit Black Americans prior to her, because I have to say it like that for the slow people in the back, because people don't listen. They will assume I'm throwing it all on her. No. She's only a small example of something that we need to talk about. Now, glad to get it out the way. So they had no problem when it was happening to us. And then we said the exact same thing as this young lady here. They would gaslight us and say, well, we're being lazy, right? We're being lazy. When Black Americans have shed those same tears, or when we do get a job in the field that we went to school for, we getting paid less money on top of that. Now, she had to take a lesser job than what she went to school for. The life of Black Americans. At least she's not being gaslit and called lazy. At least people aren't talking about her skin color and different things like that. At least people aren't telling her when she's complaining about this and complaining about the way the job market is and even notice discrimination. At least people aren't telling her, well, if you don't like it, why don't you just go back to Europe? Because that's what Black folks are told, to go back to Africa, a place we haven't been in over 400 years, right? Because we built this country. This is our homeland. We built this. And you're going to tell us to go back to Africa? Are we saying how it's not right what's going on? And I'm starting to see more and more of the folks starting to have the same complaints as Black Americans. She went to school. She felt that school was supposed to be her way into a good job, into a home. It should be. It should be that way for Black folks too. But this is what happens when you put certain politicians in office. And let's call it what it is. Biden has made everybody suffer with the economy. I don't care about nothing going on in this election that's coming up, but the economy, the economy, the economy. That's all I care about. I'm telling you right now, this suffering financially where you can't buy a home, you can't get a job. And I tell you this, y'all put Biden back in there. You think you complaining right now, even the folks, you think you complaining right now. Oh, just put Biden right back in there again. Oh, put him back. You will see. It will be mass layoffs. It will be not only a recession, you probably go into a depression. AI going to come in a lot faster to replace Americans. And the people that will be working is going to be migrants because they're going to take a lesser salary than you. You'll be laid off. Migrants will take your job. Or if not the migrants, people in other countries are going to take your job, because one thing the corporation is not going to do, they're not going to go down because of Biden and his mess. They're going to just hire people overseas or get some of these good migrants that came over in the past 4 years. You understand what I'm saying? And Americans is going to be dealing with joblessness and homelessness. Oh, yes, you get what you vote for. Because, see, they like to say this mess to black people about the election and say, oh, you get what you vote for. Well, you know, a lot of them folks voted for Biden, too. And now they crying that they can't get jobs, they can't get this, they can't get that. This economy is about ruined with that man being in office. But you have to understand also, a lot of black Americans are not going to feel sorry for this young lady, because we have been complaining the whole time about the job market. We've been complaining how we haven't been buying homes. We can't live the life we would expect because we go to school, we expecting to get this degree, and to have this kind of lifestyle, we haven't been able to get it, and we stuck with student loan debt on top of that. And the gaslighting black Americans have been through at the hands of people in her community. And when black folks hearing them suffer now, we seeing more and more of them crying and suffering. A lot of black folks, I feel nothing. That's really how a lot of black folks are feeling. And really, could you blame them how we were called lazy and gaslighting us constantly? And even though we worked hard, some of us went back to school, we've done everything we could possible to do the right thing. We don't have no criminal record. Police is harassing us in the street. We trying to go to school, trying to do the right thing. So many different things has happened to us as black Americans, just trying to go to school, trying to do something good for our families. So now she's working a lesser job. She's not making it, this young lady. She's not happy. She's crying. Well, young lady, that tears you're crying, that's only a drop in the bucket of the tears that black Americans have been crying for hundreds of years. Hundreds and hundreds of years. And young lady, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Them days of suffering, oh, they just begun. They just begun. They have just begun. And the reason why they have just begun for people like her and her community is because you didn't do right by black America. You didn't do right. You still don't want to do right. You don't even want to pay reparations in the form of cash payments. I said a long time ago, paying reparations is going to save you and help you more than even helping black Americans. Don't let your racism cloud your judgment to save yourself. Reparations will save you more than it will help us. Believe it or not, making everything equal and fair in this country will help you out more than even black people at this point. Think more about yourself right now when it comes to reparations and making everything equal in this country. If you keep leaning on the side of racism, and I don't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, I'm talking to all of you. If you lean on the side of racism and thinking that you're going to try to maintain this power like you think you have maintained, listen, the days of sole rule by you is done. It's done. You're not having children. The majority of the children in this country is not you. Globally, you're declining. You don't have the power you once had. People are forming alliances without you. They're casting you out almost all the time through other world affairs. You have to understand you're on the decline. The best way to save yourself on a decline is to humble yourself, do right by the people that you did wrong, and maybe you can partner with people to be in a ally role than a running things role. Because if you don't want to do right by black people, oh, you will suffer. But, hey, we'll see. We will see at the end of the day. But see, one thing about black Americans, we have been taught to know how to deal with suffering. It's like a sense for us to know how take something small and make something great out of it. We know how to stretch things. We know how to do that. Listen, we're used to that. We're used to it. Now, you in your community that has lived in abundance, they can say, oh, yeah, I can just call my dad. He'll loan me $20,000 or $50,000 for a down payment for a house. You know, see, Black Americans never had that opportunity. And now you financially, you're going to be dragged right down to where Black Americans are, not those in your community who's the elites. But I'm talking about the regular ones, the rank and file ones. You're going to be dragged right in the financial position that we are in now. That's why more and more of you get angry and say you don't have privilege, because look at how you're suffering financially. Oh, you still have a privilege in this country, but your privilege is diminishing. And it's not helping you like it used to. Or it's not even helping you like it helped even your parents. You understand? So your best bet is just to pay reparations in the form of cash payments and just do right by Black America. And maybe you can save yourself, because if not, I don't see nothing good coming for you, at all. Just because of the seeds that's been laid by the people in your community that's done things to us. You understand what I'm saying? Look, whether you believe it or not, there's a thing called seed time and harvest time. And there's a lot of wicked seeds that was put in the ground that was done against Black America. And that harvest is coming up. It's coming up every day. And some of you going to reap a harvest that you didn't even plant. So save yourself by paying reparations. Let go that racism. That racism going to be your downfall. I'm telling you, racism is going to be your downfall, because people all over the world are getting sick of you. They're getting sick of your racism. They're getting sick of your nasty ways. I'm telling you, people all over the world is getting tired. I'm talking about the Asians, the Arabs, the Africans, the Caribbeans, the Hispanics. Everybody getting tired of your racism. You do better by getting rid of that mess, getting along with everybody throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? And the first step is you should do right by Black people. But we'll see. I don't really think you would do right, but hey, I've been wrong many times before. But if you don't do right, that's suffering. It's going to be great.